That moment has to feel so good. Like you're essentially just waiting to hear. Well, it's your teammate that you had to beat, but you're just waiting to hear to make sure that they did not finish well enough to stop you.
You are the man.
What is going on, guys? It is JJ here, back with a new video, and today we are back with a new F1 racing video. I think I should rephrase that as a racer video, because today we're going to take a look at the top 10 moments of brilliance from the one, the only Sebastian Vettel. The man who did the 4P. 1, 2. Honestly, the fact that someone ran 4 straight World Championships in a row is unbelievable, especially during a time when the likes of Fernando Alonso, Lewis Hamilton, Nico Rosberg were all around. I'm not exactly sure what other drivers were dominating at this time. So please fill me in on that, because we still have, I still said we would go back from the time that I was born in 1997. Nobody bring up my age. 1997 is correct. From the time I was born in 1997 onwards, I want to look at like the seasons in review, because I know there are F1 videos for probably all of them. There's definitely F1 footage going all the way back to the 80s. So I said that we would do something related to that. So let me know what you guys want to see. I think we got the 2007 season and the 2014 season, and then 2016 with the Rosberg video from the How to Beat Lewis Hamilton video that we just took a look at. We will take a look at all of those coming up in that series. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below on this. And yeah, let's get into the moments celebrating one of the most successful drivers in all of F1 history, Sebastian Vettel. As well, guys, you can find the original video just down in the description below.
Sebastian Vettel's racing resume is right up there with the very best. Third in the list of all-time F1 race winners, and boasting that extraordinary run of 4 consecutive world titles with Red Bull. So let's remind ourselves of some of those dazzling moments from a remarkable career spent with 5 different teams.
Okay, so I know we talked about yesterday how sometimes it's the car that wins you your titles. Would you guys say for Vettel, is it the vehicle? Like, was Red Bull Racing just super ahead of the game at the time, or was it just Vettel being that much better than everyone else? Like, I'd like to know you guys' opinion on that.
In 2007, in his second year as a test driver for BMW Sauber, Vettel's first chance to start a race came at the United States Grand Prix at Indianapolis. At just 19 years old, Vettel replaced Robert Kubica, the Polish driver still recovering from an horrific crash at the previous race in Canada. Thrust into the limelight in circumstances that would have fazed many a more experienced driver,
19 years old,
the teenager produced a debut weekend to be proud of.
Sebastian Vettel, the 19-year-old making his debut. He's 7th on the grid. Great effort from him.
Vettel finished his maiden Grand Prix 8th and became, at the time, the youngest driver to score a point in F1.
I was going to say that pretty much all of the guys who have come after him now all definitely do it. Like, whether it's Verstappen, whether it's Lewis... Oh, wait. Was Lewis Hamilton already in F1? No, not yet. I don't think he was in F1 yet.
A safety car at the 2016 Chinese Grand Prix saw a flurry of drivers dive into the pits. Some went slowly on the pit lane entry, but a sharp-witted Vettel refused to be held up. Knowing that the pit lane still counted as part of the racetrack until the official pit entry line, he made a daring overtake and squeezed past both Nico Hülkenberg and Carlos Sainz. It was a daring, cocky and very smart move, which helped him on his way to a second-place finish for Ferrari.
That is pretty dope. I did not realize that was a thing.
2018 saw a super Saturday from Sebastian at his home race in Hockenheim, Germany. Valtteri Bottas looked to have spoiled the party for Ferrari in qualifying.
Provisional pole for Valtteri Bottas. Toto Wolff cannot believe where that has come from.
But with the Q3 clock running down, Vettel had other ideas.
Sebastian Vettel, if he holds this lap together, could absolutely smash the track record. Here at Hockenheim, Vettel crosses the line now, and it is pole position for Sebastian Vettel in front of his home fans.
I looked left on the grandstands and people were jumping up, so I thought it's looking really, really good. You don't have many of those days, especially at home, so
oh,
that's really nice.
This is So he had a good time. Okay, he had a good time though. That's
To
pretty
win
dope.
4 consecutive
That's pretty
titles
dope.
with Red Bull was an incredible feat. And while that era of dominance was on the wane by 2014, Silverstone was the scene for another bullish demonstration of Vettel's guts, bloody-mindedness, and racing pedigree.
The Red Bull car just
Chasing
looks
down
gorgeous.
a fellow multiple world champion, Fernando Alonso, for 5th place, the German was relentless as they fought a battle for the ages.
Oh, and he had to lift. Vettel had to lift.
Because he just went a little bit too wide himself, but he's still going for it. And this time he does want to get the job done going into Brooklands. But once again, Fernando Alonso fights back and just will not give up this 5th place. Vettel now switches to the inside. Alonso, does he have to give up? They're going wheel to wheel, somehow not touching as they go round Woodcote.
That is so tense, because they definitely should crash into each other.
Going on the inside, Sebastian Vettel gets it
Fernando
done this
Alonso
time.
gave up.
No
He
man
finally
wanted
conceded.
to yield, and in the end, for this fight, Vettel wins.
I see moments like that blow me away because I 100% the petty in me would just crash. I would 110% just crash into someone. It would have to be done. You're not passing me like that. I'm not allowing it.
Racing during a global pandemic was never likely to be straightforward, even less so when you've just signed for a brand new team.
Aston Martin?
So,
Really?
to race as unpredictable as Baku can be, Aston Martin would have been grateful for an experienced pair of hands on the wheel. Last lap restarts on narrow street circuits call for cool heads and steady nerves.
Sebastian Vettel is coming at them as well. Perez tries to cut off Hamilton, who locks up and goes straight on. Perez leads from Sebastian Vettel, and then comes Pierre Gasly.
And Vettel was in the right place at
Wow.
the right time to make another piece of motorsport history.
Sebastian Vettel moved teams. He picks up his first podium for Aston Martin and their first podium in Formula One.
So Aston Martin is like a newer team.
Well done.
I did not realize that. That's pretty cool.
Yes. Great job. Hey. That's a podium, man. That's a wrap.
I think it means a great deal. Obviously, it's been a tough start for us, and yeah, I think it was a great race. We had good.
Leading the 2012 championship by 13 points from Fernando Alonso with 3 races to go, a hat-trick of world titles was on the horizon for Vettel in Abu Dhabi. But that looked much less likely after a fuel irregularity in qualifying saw Vettel sent to the back of the grid for the race, with Red Bull then opting to make some further changes to the car, which saw the German starting the race from the pit lane.
Wait,
and things
what?
looked like they could be going from bad to
Wait,
worse,
what?
the title slipping through his fingers.
You could start a race from the pit lane? Please, fill me in. Fill me in. I don't get that. I don't get that at all. So essentially starting out the race behind everyone by a lot. Not even on the starting grid, just
Fingers.
screwed.
This is where the incident happened, was it? Yeah, it's the damage.
Damage front wing.
The front wing's flapping around like crazy now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's why he'd be flapping around like crazy. He's had a brush with the barriers.
Yeah, he said I hit the DRS. That's to tell them when the DRS is available to them.
What is he doing? He's stopping all the time.
Newly nosed, Vettel embarked on a mighty charge through the field until he was right on the exhaust of Jenson Button's McLaren.
Here goes Sebastian Vettel on Jenson Button. Through the chicane they go, they're wheel to wheel. They haven't touched yet. Sebastian Vettel gets himself up into 3rd place.
Really?
Which
Even after
for his
all the
own
crashing
title
and starting
chances
behind?
are absolutely brilliant.
From pit lane to P3, Vettel's brilliance kept him his lead over Alonso in the Drivers' Championship. His dream of a 3rd consecutive driver's title still very much alive.
So during this time, Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg were not as big of deals as they are now. It was very much Sebastian Vettel versus Fernando Alonso. Am I correct in saying that, or am I incorrect in saying that? Who was the rivalry for Vettel? Was it Alonso? I feel like it had to have been.
Vettel's move to Ferrari for 2015 was always likely to invite comparisons with his hero Michael Schumacher and his 5 world titles for the Scuderia. Could another German bring the glory days back to Maranello?
Ooh.
At the second round at Sepang, one of the most physically demanding circuits on the calendar, the early signs were positive. Starting on the front row behind pole sitter Lewis Hamilton, with track temperatures in excess of 60 degrees, Vettel and Ferrari played
What is
it
60
cool,
degrees? 60
staying
degrees
out
Celsius?
while both Mercedes pitted under an early safety car. Stopping later and now on fresher hard tyres, Vettel was able to put the move on Nico Rosberg.
Good boy, good boy.
And a slick second stop saw Vettel exit still ahead of Rosberg and just behind Hamilton, the Briton on a set of aging hards. Without a win since Brazil 2013, Vettel wasn't going to let this opportunity slip by.
Sebastian Vettel swerving, weaving, dancing to the checkered flag. He wins.
He really ended up winning that for Ferrari.
Yes! Sì, ragazzi! Oh, mi senti? Mi senti? Grazie, grazie, grazie! Dai,
Oh.
forza Ferrari!
Ferrari were back on the top step for the first time in 2 years. The significance of an incredible win was not lost on the man himself.
The day today, the race, really spot on. The whole team was there. Great strategy, great pace. So we beat them fair and square. So thanks to the team here, thanks to all the team in Maranello.
That's actually pretty.
In 2012,
I mean,
the
like,
drivers' title.
I can't imagine, obviously, being an F1 driver, like going from winning 4 drivers' championships in a row to like struggling to even go out and just win a single race, let alone against essentially competition you know have a more superior product. Like, you know they have a faster car. So I think like it's like for him to be like a really nice guy about it, like not have a mega ego, I think it's pretty dope.
Vettel went down to the wire, and Vettel needed all his experience and skill to eke out a finish that would secure him his
He
third
looks best in the Red
successive
Bull car,
crown.
though. I will give
But
it
he
to
did
him.
it the hard way, leading Ferrari's Fernando Alonso by 13 points as they arrived at Interlagos. The tricky wet-dry conditions saw both men qualify poorly. Vettel 4th and the Spaniard down in 8th. But a terrible start from the German saw him drop down the order, while Alonso shot forward. And things quickly got worse for the defending champion.
Oh, look, it's a Red Bull! It's a Red Bull! It's Sebastian Vettel in the middle of the track! It's the worst possible scenario for Sebastian Vettel, who started on the second row and is now running right down at the bottom of the
What
field.
even happened?
Up ahead, Alonso passed Vettel's teammate Mark Webber for P3, making him the champion-elect out on track. But despite a damaged side pod and dropping all the way down to 22nd place, Vettel began to cut his way through the field. Rain and safety cars played their part, with Vettel being allowed through by Schumacher into the 6th place he needed to secure the title. One of F1's most chaotic races came to an abrupt end when Paul di Resta crashed on the start-finish straight, bringing out the safety car to guide the remaining drivers home.
Is that
Alonso was second, but crucially, Vettel's 8 points were enough for him to claim F1's ultimate prize by just 3
That's
points.
nutty. So Michael Schumacher really said, go ahead. Like, he really just let him through and well, I mean, did he like actually fight for it, or did he actually just let him through? Also, for safety cars, you can finish the race on a safety car? Dude, I'm still learning so much about F1. That I did not realize. I did not realize that. I thought like they would like restart the race with like a lap or 2 to go.
You are the man. You're a triple world champion.
I'm really proud of all the guys in the team, you know, proud of what we have achieved. It's really not possible to find the right words, you know, being in the position that I am now and having won three times in a row. It's, you know, now I'm standing here, I don't know what to say.
2010 saw Formula One introduce a new point system, and the consequent title scrap was one of the fiercest in years, as Vettel traded victories with his Australian teammate Mark Webber, Lewis Hamilton and Jenson Button of McLaren, and Fernando Alonso and Felipe Massa at Ferrari. When they got to the final race of the
So the
year in
six-way
Abu
battle
Dhabi,
for the title.
only Button and Massa had been edged out of the running. Alonso led the standings, 8 points clear of Webber, with Vettel 15 points behind the Spaniard, and 9 ahead of 4th placed Hamilton. With 25 points on offer for the win, it was all to play for. Webber was first of the title contenders to pit, with Alonso following 4 laps later. But their strategy was flawed as they got stuck behind slower cars, unable to find a way through. This left Vettel and the 2 McLarens unchallenged out at the front, and a nervous wait for the 23-year-old to become F1's youngest world champion.
Okay, Sebastian, good job. I need to wait until everybody crosses the line. I need to wait, but it's looking good. You just wait, sunshine, you just wait. Hamilton, P2, Button, P3. Rosberg, P4, Kubica, P5, Du bist Weltmeister!
Unbelievable! Thank you, I love you.
Sebastian Vettel, you are the world champion! The world champion, well done, enjoy it!
That moment has to feel so good. Like you're essentially just waiting to hear, well, A, it's your teammate that you had to beat, but you're just waiting to hear to make sure that they did not finish well enough to stop you.
You are the man!
What an achievement. The youngest world champion in Formula One history.
I'm a bit speechless, to be honest. I don't know what you're supposed to say in this moment. Today was a special day all around. We have only
Does it
really
always
led
end
this
at Abu
championship
Dhabi
once.
as well?
Vettel's first full season of Formula One in 2008 saw him produce one of the most incredible performances in F1 history at Monza, just down the road from the factory of his Toro Rosso team. He'd made 5 top 10 finishes already that year, but his car was hardly a front runner. Yet come a wet qualifying, Vettel banked a brilliant early lap and secured provisional pole, with only Felipe Massa still in the running to spoil the party. And when the Brazilian could only manage 6th fastest, Vettel became the youngest ever F1 pole sitter at the tender age of 21 years and 72 days.
Yeah, I mean, unbelievable.
I never realized how
The rain didn't quit on
much
Sunday,
the pole
and neither
laps
would
actually
Vettel.
play
Vettel hits
into
it, and
racers.
away we go. We're racing at Monza. Sebastian Vettel leads a Grand Prix for the first time.
Who, despite being predicted to fall back quickly down the order, drove out of his skin to secure a miraculous lights-to-flag victory that belied his youth and marked him out as a guaranteed star of the future in Formula One.
Sebastian Vettel is a Grand Prix winner for the first time. He's the youngest ever, and that's one of the greatest things I've ever seen in Grand Prix racing.
You have won the Italian Grand Prix. You have won the Italian Grand Prix. I'm proud of you. Bravissimo. Bravissimo.
Bravissimo.
Impressionante.
I don't know what to say. I miss the word. Grazie mille. Grazie mille. Ungara.
There is nothing like your first win. Like, I mean, this is definitely proof. Like, even, well, also, is Toro Rosso like what Red Bull would become? Like, is that essentially like the car brand for it? Is that what it will become? Because that makes sense. That makes total sense then why he's actually absolutely like out of his skin happy about it. But obviously, let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comments below on these Sebastian Vettel top 10 moments of brilliance. This is gonna be, I think, God, I kind of want to see more of Vettel. I feel like he was like to win 4 titles in a row, and especially a lot of them in such cinematic fashion. There's so much beauty to the racing. There's so because there's so much drama. There's so much animosity. There's so much skill. Everything about it is just excellent. I love every bit of it. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Let me know what are the videos you guys want to see. Obviously, Fernando Alonso video is coming soon. But I want to know who Sebastian Vettel's biggest rival was, because I feel like Fernando Alonso was the one that was brought up most in this video. But I just want to make sure. So let me know who Vettel's main rival was. Obviously, there's some things I still need to learn about F1, including the little pit lane line and everything else. But we will get to that in due time. Thank you guys so much for watching, though, and peace.